When people talk about the most memorable Pro Evolution Soccer games, the same names always come up: Pro Evo 6, 2013 and 2017. Fan favorites, legendary titles. But there is one Pro Evolution Soccer game that nobody talks about. One game that tried to revolutionize football gaming. And it's actually a game that is considered to be the worst Pro Evolution Soccer game of all time. So today we are talking about Pro Evolution Soccer 2014, the game that introduced physics systems years ahead of its time, the game that had superb animations when you consider the time it was released. And it was also the game with the most ambitious vision Konami ever had for the series. And the game that was so rushed, so broken at launch that it scared Konami into playing it safe for half a decade. So this is the story of how one botched release changed an entire franchise. So let's set some context here. It's September 2013. FIFA is dominating. EA has the licenses, the presentation, the polish. Pro Evolution Soccer is struggling. The series needs a serious revolution. And Konami knew it. So they made a massive bet: scrap everything. Built from scratch on the Fox engine, the same engine powering Metal Gear Solid 5. Create a true football simulation, not just another arcade fun game. And you know what? This vision was fucking brilliant. And they had also systems to back it up. For instance, they added TrueBall technology, which meant that for the first time in football gaming, the ball became a genuinely independent physical object. Not scripted, not on rails. Every touch, every pass, every shot was calculated in real time using actual physics. And this was miles ahead of anything FIFA was doing, and actually still is doing. Then Konami also added MAS system, which means Motion Animation Stability System. What it meant is that the real-time collision physics were based on player mass, momentum, center of gravity. There were no canned animations here. Everything was supposed to be contextual. When two players collided, the game calculated the physics of that specific collision in real time. Then they added Heart System, which meant that mental attributes changed dynamically based on the match. Crowd atmosphere affected morale of the team. It was quite revolutionary stuff for 2013. On top of that, Konami expanded Player ID. See, Player ID was a new thing added in Pro Evolution Soccer 2013, which had about 50 star players with their unique movement. But in Pro Evolution Soccer 2014, they added over 1,000 players. Seriously, entire squads moved differently. And lastly, the game had combination play, which meant that we got preset tactical runs with 3+ players working together in coordination. Actual tactical depth to exploit certain areas of the pitch. But how did it translate into a gameplay experience? Well, the thing is that when you play a modded, patched version of Pro Evolution Soccer 2014 in 2026, you can actually feel what they were going for. That Pro Evolution Soccer release wasn't trying to be, fun football game, it was trying to be real. Touches are heavy. Dribbling gets tricky under pressure, passes go astray, especially when played by inferior passers or in tough situations. Shots can range from absolute bangers to whiffed finishes. It's a game of contrasts and variety. In a way, playing Pro Evolution Soccer 2014 is like visiting a beautiful but raw country. Take for instance Southern Europe, where you experience gorgeous nature and meet cheerful and fun people. But then you get frustrated by absolutely ridiculous infrastructure and the issues that come with it. And so the spectrum of experiences is very wide. And I think that's how it feels to play Pro Evolution Soccer 2014. For instance, creating chances on the wings, well, good luck, because defenders close gaps better than any football game I've ever played. They cut passing lanes, they anticipate, they make you think while you are executing. And actually made me realize how easy it is to create chances on wings in other football games. Add on top of that imperfect passes and occasionally wonky controls, And you get chaotic, difficult, but yet very rewarding experience. Because when you finally score, holy shit, it feels really, really earned. The ball physics make shots feel punchy and satisfying, and it was hard, so you're just enjoying it a lot. Then the game had a really cool defending system, and it was the one from Pro Evolution Soccer 2013 which carried over here. It basically meant that if you press just one button, you were safely containing the attacker. But then press sprint button together with contain and you will challenge aggressively. It was really cool because it had these tactical choices without forcing you into fully manual defending, and I genuinely miss this. The overall experience of playing the game is that it feels different from anything before and after. And in 2026, that uniqueness alone makes it worth revisiting. Pro Evo 2014 was the future of football gaming, if it didn't fail. So now let's talk about the timeline that basically doomed everything here. Because here is where the dream died. Pro Evo 2014 was announced March 2013 and released September 2013. 6 months, which would be okay for the game that was just trying to continue over previous iteration, right? But they were building a revolutionary game from scratch on a brand new engine with 6 months from announcement to launch. I bet they knew it wasn't ready at the release, but they said fuck it and shipped it anyway. And then came the release. And imagine you've been following the hype. You've seen the Fox Engine trailers. You get excited because you've read about TrueBall technology, the physics, evolution and revolution, and about the future of football gaming coming now. And then you buy the game. You boot up Pro Evo 2014 for the first time. You get ready to play the game. You hear the classical music in the main menu, which is kind of a weird choice if you ask me, but you're like, hey, maybe the game is really cool. So the match starts. You press a button. Nothing happens. You press it again, still nothing. Then a full second later, your player finally responds to your inputs. And this wasn't a bug affecting some players. This was how the game felt. Vanilla Pro Evo 2014 was the most unresponsive football game ever made. And it's not an exaggeration. You basically weren't controlling players on the pitch, you were suggesting them actions and hoping that they would oblige. I read players calling it feeling trapped in animations, and yeah, that resonates with my experience. Because the game was so focused on realistic weight and momentum that I think it forgot to be playable and fun. And this was just the start, because the responsiveness was not the only issue. The whole game felt half done and rushed. Frame rate tanked near goal during actual gameplay, manual shooting was broken, you literally couldn't score headers on manual settings. Features like 11 vs 11 online and dynamic weather were simply gone, cut due to engine limitations. Even Master League told the same story. They finally added what fans were begging for: manager mobility, national teams, overhauled transfers. The features were there, sure, and that was cool, but the vibe and the surrounding frame wasn't. Gone was the cinematic presentation of the mode, manager interactions, the immersion. It was just menus, menus, menus and loading screens. And loading screens were slower than in Pro Evo 2013. Basically, it felt like Konami gave you the dream car, but forgot to put seats in it. And then came the split in reception of the game. Professional critics scored it quite high at 74 to 80 out of 100 on Metacritic. They praised the graphics, the ambition. They called it the best Pro Evolution Soccer in years. And all while players scored it just 4 out of 10. And so the disconnect was massive. Critics saw potential. Players felt reality. Even after patches improved responsiveness of the game, it was still considered and described as playable rather than good. The core issues, the ones coming from rushing a new engine to the market, couldn't be simply patched out in a short time. And so Pro Evolution Soccer 2014 didn't fail because the vision was wrong, it failed because Konami didn't give that vision enough time to breathe. So what were the consequences of that launch? Well, Pro Evolution Soccer 2014 launched to backlash, poor sales, angry community. And Konami learned the lesson, but the wrong one. Instead of figuring that, hey, we needed more development time, they heard innovation is dangerous. And so every release from Pro Evolution Soccer 2015 onwards told that story, return to core Pro Evolution Soccer values. They fixed responsiveness, they polished animations, but they took zero risks. Every Pro Evo later basically became annual refinements with no big swings. And so playing through 2015 to 2019 kinda feels like the games all blend together. Small mechanical tweaks, some polish, some refinement, safe bets year after year. Meanwhile, FIFA was making massive shifts every few years. EA kept taking risks and kept leading the genre. And all while Pro Evolution Soccer was still looking like a PlayStation 3 game until 2017. 3 years after games like NBA 2K14 made the next generation leap. 3 fucking years. And you know what is the tragedy? That what could have been. Imagine if Pro Evolution Soccer 2014 wasn't rushed. Imagine that first Fox Engine release delivered the true simulation Konami was going for, but instead polished, responsive, finished. I think the entire trajectory changes of the series and of the genre. Instead of playing it safe from 2015 to 2020, maybe Konami continues innovating. Maybe they become the leader instead of the chaser. Maybe they don't limp into the eFootball disaster in 2020s. But that's not what happened, unfortunately. I think that if they have given it 12 more months, just 12 months, we would be talking about Pro Evolution Soccer 2014 the way we talk about Pro Evo 6, a legendary game that is still worth playing. Instead, we got a broken revolution, a glimpse of brilliance buried under rushed development. And the saddest part is that Konami never took that big swing again. And that's what frustrates me about revisiting Pro Evolution Soccer 14 in 2026. Even with all its flaws, even needing mods to just make it playable, you can feel the ambition behind the game. You can see what they were building. Pro Evo 14 was the last time Konami tried to revolutionize football gaming. And yeah, they failed, but at least they fucking tried. And that vision, that beautiful, flawed, rushed vision deserves to be remembered for what it could have been, not just what it was. So, what do you think? Did Pro Evolution Soccer 2014 deserve its reputation as the worst Pro Evo ever made? Or was it the most ambitious one that simply needed more time? Let me know in the comments, and if you've never played it, maybe give it a shot with some mods. You might not necessarily like it or consider it the best game ever, but you will definitely experience something different. Which I think is more than I can say for most football games these days. And right now on the screen you can see the list of Hall of Famers who are the most dedicated supporters of my work. Thank you all for your help, you make videos like this one possible. Anyway, that's all from me in this video, thanks for your time, I'll see you in the next one.